Hey guys, it's me, LD. Today is March the 23rd, 2012. I'm coming to you with another Pro Dota 1 commentary. This match also came from the GEST International Dota Cup March. I've been casting a lot of games from this tournament, and frankly, they've pretty much all been excellent. Some of them have been one-sided, but even then, they're pretty action-packed, which you can usually expect to see in the Southeast Asian scene, but I've been very impressed so far by the level of play, as well as just the variety of hero picks. So I'm looking forward to what will hopefully be another interesting game. Today's match is between MiTH-Trust and Velocy. MiTH-Trust hailing from Thailand and Velocy hailing from Indonesia. I actually have cast both of these teams before. I think the more remarkable match was the match between Velocy and Mineski, where Velocy actually ran a 5 melee lineup against a bunch of really strong pushers like a Furion, a Broodmother, and I forget what the other ones were. It didn't end up working out too well, but it was certainly interesting to watch. If you haven't already checked out that replay, I definitely recommend you do so. Check out the commentary on my YouTube. So anyway, I'm going to unpause the replay. We're going to get started here on the picking and banning. And we actually do get Captain's Mode today, so yay, I could actually see the picks and talk about them. For me, this is one of my favorite parts of a commentary. Obviously, you know, if you have some epic team fights and chases, that's pretty cool to watch too. But I really love seeing how teams go about constructing their drafts, and really how they vary them, you know, depending on the opponent. So first ban going to be an Invoker. Not too much of a surprise there. As for the match that I cast at MiTH-Trust, they actually went with an OD, a Panda, and an Enigma as sort of their... I don't want to say they're unusual picks, because they're not, but those were sort of the most notable ones. Then they had a couple of standard supports, like a Crystal Maiden and something else that I can't remember. And they did that against a bunch of really strong chasers. They were up against a Queen of Pain, a Slardar, and a Weaver. It did not end up working out too well. It seems to me in these Southeast Asian games, whoever gets the most chasers and the best gankers usually wins. The more aggressive lineups seem to be more successful. So we'll see if that's the case this game. I would love to see, you know, something a little different. I mean, I still love the action, but I wouldn't mind seeing some slightly different picks. So as far as the bans for this game, Anti-Mage ban, Invoker ban, not too surprising for Dota 2. I haven't seen too much Anti-Mage in Dota 1, to be honest, especially outside of the Chinese scene, where he seems to be the most popular. Batrider, you know, if anyone can explain to me why this hero is so popular in Dota 2, or excuse me, in Dota 1, and is rarely banned or picked in Dota 2, I would love to hear it. I mean, I know there were some issues with like his napalm stacks not lasting long enough, and not doing enough damage, but I believe Valve fixed those, and we're still not seeing Batrider really picked at all. I played against him in a pub recently, and I was trying out Lycan last night. Yeah, actually, I played a bunch of Lycan games, so you can call me a Lycan picker. And it turned out that, well, let's just say Lycan not too good 1v1 versus Batrider in the lane, but we still won in the end, so Lycan Imba. But anyway, yeah, I don't know why he's less popular in Dota 2. I mean, he's the same hero. He's, you know, really strong lane controller, so Velocy going to have the first pick here. They leave Syllabear in the pool, and then they go ahead and take him. I really like that strategy. In my opinion, there's two heroes right now in Dota 1 that are just, you know, the most difficult to deal with, at least as far as carries and pushers go, and that's Syllabear and Lycan. So if you first pick, I think it's always a good idea to leave one of them in the pool and see if your opponents will give them to you. They go ahead and pick the Syllabear, and they followed up with a Beastmaster. Beastmaster actually another very strong pusher. I mean, traditionally most people think of him as a ganker because of the Hawk, the Quillbore, you know, the Axe is doing a good chunk of nuke damage, and then of course the Roar being a really, really strong disable with a pretty low cooldown. But because of his passive Inner Beast, he's actually a pretty decent pusher. You'll often see players, especially in the Chinese scene, opting not even to get the Hawk and the Quill Beast early on, and sometimes even maxing the passive over the Axes just to allow them to control runes better when they go mid. We'll see how they choose to lane this. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Beastmaster mid, but he can certainly go into a side lane. As for MiTH-Trust's picks, they're going for what looks like more of a ganking and teamfight oriented lineup. Not so much, they really don't have any pushers right now. Ancient Apparition and Earthshaker, very good anti-push. Between the Fissure, as well as the AA Ice Blast, you can really mow down most creep waves, especially in the early game. And obviously those two heroes are fantastic team fighters, but what they don't have is any ability to push themselves. And if the Earthshaker and AA are in their sort of traditional or more common roles as supports, they're not going to get a quick level 6, which means they're going to have a little bit more trouble contributing in team fights and stopping pushes. At least that's possibly what could happen. So that's something to keep an eye on. Those two heroes really need to get a quick level 6. So if they're going to be roaming, then they need to be effective, and if they're going to be doing something like just supporting in a lane and babysitting, stacking, pulling, we definitely going to want to see them be successful at that. So they're going to need to counter ward the pull, and hopefully not die too much to ganks. With that being said, just taking a look at the rest of the bans here, I'm actually going to pause real quick because this draft is going pretty quickly, at least for me. Too much talking about Dota 2, I guess. For Velocy Hyper, so they go ahead and they ban Windrunner. I didn't even mention that. Windrunner and Shadow Demon got banned out. So just two really strong lane controllers here as you don't really want to deal with. And then Queen of Pain is banned, as well as Broodmother, Vengeful Spirit, and DK. So in terms of Velocy's ban, the Queen of Pain and the DK, I mean, DK fits in really well with MiTH-Trust's lineup because he gives you a strong carry who could push well. Because of both of his Fire Breath as well as his ultimate doing 100 damage to towers per attack, that's nothing to laugh at for that level 1 dragon form. And then you also have Queen of Pain who can push pretty well. But Dragonite really fits in because he also has that stun, and that's just so many disables between the CK with the Chaos Bolt as well as the Reality Rift, the Earthshaker with 3 stuns potentially if he hits them all, and then of course the Ancient Apparition having the Cold Feet. That's a lot of disables, as well as the Ice Vortex to slow. So I think that was a very smart ban by Velocy. Trying to deny MiTH-Trust a carry that synergizes well with their lineup. So Velocy, with those bans being made, is going to go ahead and pick up Panda as their 4th hero. I would expect. So I'm gonna unpause now. Just wanted to catch up a little bit on the picks here. I would expect to see the Panda paired with the Crystal Maiden. It's a very potent combo. Crystal Maiden, obviously one of the strongest supports early game, and can really set up Panda's Thunderclap nicely. And if she hits you with both of her disables and the Panda hits you with the Thunderclap, you're going to have a hard time surviving. The Chaos Knight probably should be able to get away if he blinks out. So, but with that being said, I mean, even though Velocy has Syllabear, who really wants to be farming and pushing all game, they still have some decent, sort of ganking team fighting heroes, especially the Beastmaster and the Panda. But I still have to give the edge to MiTH-Trust, so I'm curious to see how they go here. They could elect to sort of continue building this ganking teamfight lineup, or maybe they'll pick up some sort of hero that can push better. I'm trying to think who would be a good pusher that has not been picked yet. Furion is actually still in the pool. Yeah, I haven't seen him too much in Dota 1 for whatever reason, but I mean, I still think he's a good hero. I think he's a little underpicked, to be perfectly honest. But we'll see. They might go that route. Obviously, he would fit in well with the ganking. They could elect to go with a jungler, something like an Enigma, which would just give them insane team fight. Wow, they're going to go with Furion. That's probably the first time I've ever gotten a hero right. But yeah, so they could elect to go. I wonder who they'll go for their 5th hero here. I mean, Enigma would give them insane team fight, but I feel like they don't have that much damage. I mean, all of these heroes are pretty squishy except for the Chaos Knight, and none of them are going to stop Syllabear for pushing in the racks. So we'll have to see what MiTH-Trust's final pick will be. I'd also like the Beastmaster pick for Velocy now that I'm looking at when they picked it in the draft. Not only just because he's a good hero for pushing and just a good hero in general, but it denies it to MiTH-Trust, and Beastmaster Roar is a decent way to deal with Syllabear. You can roar the Spirit Bear if he's about to kill a bunch of your teammates and allow them to run away. You can also roar the hero to allow people to get out. So I think that's a pretty good choice. Morphling is going to be the final pick here. So, well, there's your late game damage from MiTH-Trust. So let's go ahead and introduce the players, as we do see Velocy immediately heading with a smoke towards the Radiant, or excuse me, the Sentinel Jungle. We're going to have SCL on the Panda, Y2K, I like that name, on the Syllabear, CK on the Crystal Maiden, NFR on the Beastmaster, and YKW on the Venomancer. For MiTH-Trust, we're going to have, and the last time I cast these guys, I could not pronounce the names. Let's see if I can do better this time. R5 on the Earthshaker, Lake.
Player's forces are under attack.
Is it Ake LZ or Lake LZ? I'm not sure. Either way, something LZ. Stop running around. I'm trying to click on you. Abba on the Chaos Knight. TNK, going to be playing that Ancient Apparition. Oh, they're going for level 1 Roshan. Okay, let's see if they do it a little better this time. Looks like the Sentinel know what's up. With this well-placed ward by the Scars, they're going to go ahead and get out of here. And yeah, you can't do level 1 Roshan if the enemy team knows that you're there. It's just people are going to get too low, and it's too easy to get grouped up and hit by some good initiation. And especially you don't want to get stuck in that pit with an Earthshaker there. That can be pretty scary if he hits a nice fissure. And the final player on the Sentinel, I'm going to go ahead and introduce him now, is Leno, something like that. So with that being said, in terms of the lanes, we're going to see a Panda Venomancer dual lane. I didn't really talk about the Venomancer pick because it happened right as the game picked up. I think he fits in well to their lineup. He gives them a more ganking power and some decent pushing with those Plague Wards. Fits in well with the Syllabear, so I think it's a pretty good pick.
A player's forces are under attack.
And we're just going to see Furion doing a nice little trick here, pulling the creep wave, which allows him to actually get some experience, because otherwise he's not going to feel very safe in this lane. But scratch that, action mid. We're going to see Beastmaster getting ganked to level 1. You see not even ganked actually, I think they were just laning against him and got aggressive. You see the power of, I'm not sure if that was Reality Rift or Chaos Bolt. I believe it was Chaos Bolt, coupled with the Cold Feet, doing a lot of damage to Beastmaster. So that's definitely something he's going to have to be careful about. He's going to have a very difficult time with this lane. Being a melee hero, he's got to get in close, which is definitely where Ancient Apparition and Chaos Knight want him to be. So he's playing right into their wheelhouse. Not sure if he's going to be okay there, to be honest. We're going to see a tri-lane really trying to shut down this Morphling in the bottom lane. And Morphling's not going to have any farm, so it's really a trade-off here. Morphling's probably going to be harder to kill because he's got the waveform. But at the same time, he's up against the more difficult lane as compared to the Beastmaster. So whichever lane feeds less is probably going to be looking good. I have to say overall, though, I think Syllabear should be having a great time up against the solo Furion. See him with 4 creeps so far. Pretty good start.
First blood.
And of course, I missed the first blood. Yeah, we did see Beastmaster going down. Looks like he probably died around here. And we're going to see an immediate courier pickup, flying courier pickup for the Sentinel. So, yeah, like I was saying, that Beastmaster is just so hard to stay alive, especially when you're a melee here with no escape mechanism against an Ancient Apparition and Chaos Knight. This is why we see this combination so commonly in the Chinese scene. It's like 3 or 4 seconds of disable, depending on how long the Chaos Bolt is, when you couple it with the Cold Feet. Yeah, so in terms of this bottom lane, it's not going to go too well. Earthshaker, it looks like he counter-warded. Yeah, he did go ahead and counter-ward the camp, so he should be able to pull. Although, does this counter-ward block the camp? It might actually block the camp. We'll have to see. I don't think it does, but we'll see. I know in Dota 2 you can block the camp by warding like right behind these trees. Yeah, Syllabear should be farming. Honestly, he should be farming better than this, but hopefully we'll see him pick up soon. I mean, laning 1v1 against the Furion, you really shouldn't have any difficulty. You can just send the bear to harass him. You basically have 2 heroes to get your last hits. Beastmaster gonna be in a lot of trouble here mid. Some nice hero blocking. Chaos Bolt, Cold Feet's gonna proc. That's a dead Beastmaster. So while the Scourge team does have the really strong mid-game pushing lineup, if Beastmaster keeps on dying early, they're going to be in for some trouble, as he is their best ganker, and one of their 2 solo heroes. Definitely a crux of their strategy. I mean, I don't know what Velocy can do here. I think they might need to send one of these supports to go babysit a mid. And Morphling's, with the buffs in 6.73C, is pretty scary. We're going to see him doing a lot of damage to Venomancer with that level 3, or level 2 waveform. We might actually see a nice fissure, but not going to be able to block them fully. I think he might go down. Oh, this is so close. Will Panda be able to get in range? There's no boots on their hero, but I guess Panda's moving a little bit faster. Nice thunderclap. Yep. Going to see Morphling drop here. He's morphing, but it's only level 1 morph, so it doesn't do too much damage. Or too much healing. And yeah, he's going to be able to kill him. So, a nice attempt at a defensive fissure there, but not going to be quite enough. Furion is going to TP right on top of Panda. I don't think this is where he wants to be. But Ancient Apparition Chaos Knight are here. This should be a dead Venomancer. Should probably try and die to the creeps. Not going to be successful. And now now we're going to see the chase continue. Some nice hero blocking by Earthshaker. Fissure going to come out. Great Fissure. Panda should be screwed here. Sprout plus Cold Feet. Some really good aggression. This is going to be a dead Panda. Morphling going to take that kill. And the only good news for the Scourge is that leaves Syllabear with an empty lane. So Furion is going to be going to buy a TP scroll and head right back top. Syllabear, after a very slow start, already up to 15 creeps at 4 minutes. So, you know, almost up to 4 creeps per minute from that 3 per minute he had a minute or 2 ago. So doing pretty well. Once he starts to hit level 5, 6, he's going to be a real pain. He's going to be pushing this tower hard. Even Furion with the Treants, I mean, he can slow the push, but he really can't stop it. And more importantly, he can't stop Syllabear's farm. So we'll have to see how the lane progresses, but this is generally what you want to see with Syllabear. Is the enemy team just being, you know, completely committed to the other side of the map, even leaving your lane empty at times. And one of the downsides to that ganking Furion. So Beastmaster not going to be having a good time. He's going to be jumped on in tower range. This is going to be another dead Beastmaster. Chaos Knight's so tanky. And with that DD rune just doing insane damage. This combination is too strong. You really have to have a hero with an escape mechanism. Or, you know, give him some help. You know, send the Venomancer mid, send the Crystal Maiden mid. I mean, Panda, you might give the Morphling a little farm, but I think that's a fine trade-off because your Syllabear's farming, you know? A Syllabear trading farm for a Morphling. While the Morphling might be able to outcarry him in the super late game, it's never going to get to that point if Syllabear plays well, because he can get up those quick pushing items, you know, whether it goes for a Flads or an Assault Cuirass or a Radiance, and push down the ranks before Morphling can really do anything about it. So, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to leave these three heroes here, as I think Panda and one of the supports could at least survive versus this Morphling DS combination, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Syllabear is still farming quite well. Bunch of action bottom. This tri-lane is also, I guess I haven't mentioned, but we don't see too many tri-lanes nowadays in Dota 1. But it's especially interesting to see one against a Furion. I think this makes the Furion an especially good pick in this game, because Furion getting that quick ultimate, you can see how much damage he does. He pops the ultimate, instant double kill for this bottom lane. You know, and Furion always a decent pick, but a really strong counter to tri-lanes, similar to a Zeus. Trying to think who else is a really good global here. I mean, similar to maybe an Ancient Apparition who solos. But I think Furion and Zeus are probably the two best examples of this. Heroes that once they hit level 6, their ultimate will absolutely destroy you if you're under-leveled and you don't have farm. Which, of course, a tri-lane Crystal Maiden, a tri-lane Venomancer. I don't even know if either of these guys have boots yet. Yeah, neither of them even have boots. Some action going on mid. Of course, the action never going to stop. Beastmaster going to die again. Oh, this Beastmaster still looking for that level 6. Not going to get it. He's a lower level than the dual lane he's up against. And it's not like there's a Lich here. He's just dying so much that they're out-leveling him, so... shame on this Beastmaster. No, really, not shame on him. Of course, there's nothing he can do about it. Just a combination of a bad matchup and a lack of help from the team. And now Morphling is going to be picking up the boots and the Rune of Basilius. Not really the best farm, to be honest. Syllabear sitting on 40 creeps. Fantastic farm on him. Gonna pop the ultimate, but still gonna go down to this potent ganking combination. Should be going down. Yep, gonna drop. So really well played. He morphed, but is a little late. And if you morph after taking a bunch of damage, your HP increases on a percentage basis. So you don't get the full benefit. So for example, if you have, like, let's say 1400 health when you're in bear form, but you're already at 500 before you morph, or if you're already at half your HP before you morph in the regular form, then you're only gonna have 700 health as the nukes start hitting you. So a little bit late on the morph there, and probably gonna have to be more careful last time. I'm just gonna pause the replay real quick. I normally wouldn't pause, but I've noticed in these Southeast Asian games that when I don't pause, I miss like 5 kills. So I'm gonna do a quick farm check here. Morphling on 14 in 7 minutes. That is horrible farm, but he is 3-1, so that makes up for it pretty nicely. He's probably sitting around the equivalent of like 30 creeps, maybe 40 creeps, something like that. Probably not quite that much, but somewhere in that ballpark. Earthshaker with the boots as well as the magic wand, and considering he's been on hardcore support, doing quite well because of those 4 assists. We have Chaos Knight 18-7, 3-0-5. This guy obviously the star of the game so far. Just been fantastic. In combination with the Ancient Apparition is 1-0-7. The Sentinel, if you notice right now, have extremely good level advantage on the Scourge. In fact, every single one of their heroes except for their Earthshaker is level 6 or higher. Whereas the Scourge, if you look at it, level 6 Beastmaster, level 7 Syllabear, 3-4-4. This is the issue with running a tri-lane, especially against a hero like a Prophet, is that you get under-leveled, and then if they play it right, they can just snowball their way to victory. So I'm going to go ahead and unpause. In terms of farm, Syllabear and Panda and Beastmaster, actually all of them doing pretty well. So while Scourge is out farming, I don't think it's going to matter as long as Sentinel plays this correctly. They can just use their better early game lineup, their better ganking, and their level advantage to just keep on getting kills. And then once you get the kills, you can farm. So we'll see how it plays out, but if I was the Syllabear, I'd be a little bit nervous now. You always have to worry about the Ancient Apparition shooting his ultimate top. If the Chaos Knight or the Earthshaker ever decides to head your way, you are going to die, especially with the Furion there in support. Bunch of nukes going to be applied to the Morphling. He's got that morph. He's probably going to pop it shortly. Panda not even going in. I'm not sure why. I think it's advisable to at least go in to force Morphling to use some mana. And potentially morph some of his strength into health, which he doesn't want to be doing. probably should be sending himself a healing salve. Actually, he's got the bottle as well as a salve, I believe. So probably going to be seeing some bottle crowing as we normally do in these games.
A player's forces are under attack.
Syllabear with the phase boots completed on the bear, and this is really the main thing that the Scourge is going in their favor, is the Syllabear's farm. But he's only got 700 gold, so he's still quite a ways away from that relic. Interested to see if he rushes for that, as we do see a two-man fissure coupled with the AA ultimate, great AA ultimate, as well as the Furion ultimate, just going to bring everyone down almost instantly. So, you know, the power of this, it's not a global strat, but, you know, the power of this nuking lineup, the Furion's global presence, the Ancient Apparition's global presence, extremely potent. Syllabear doing the only thing that he can right now, which is trying to push top, but he's dead now. Double damage, Chaos Knight, Cold Feet, Chaos Bolt, Reality Rift, Furion throwing in the sprout at the beginning there. More than enough damage to take even the tanky Syllabear down. Scores 12-1. Just quickly turning into a stomp. Beastmaster with that Inner Beast, let's see what level is it. Level 2 Inner Beast, yeah, it's going to be able to push down the tower. One of the benefits to skipping the Hawk early, and I like the skill choice. Getting that tower gives them a little more map control. It makes this middle lane a little bit safer to farm. So the first tower goes actually to the Scourge, even though they're down 12-1. But we're going to see a reply here from the Sentinel. So it's going to be a tower trade. But I think for the Scourge, they'll be happy with that because they are getting absolutely rolled right now. So something is better than nothing. A ultimate just going to come down to do a little bit of harassment. We might actually see Morphling go in on the Venommancer. Yeah, we are going to see him going. As we see a waveform fissure combination. This is just a ridiculous combo. The fissure guarantees your waveform will hit. The Ancient Apparition ultimate guarantees it will be a kill. Really potent combination. I'm loving this strat for MiTH-Trust, and I don't know what Velocy can do about it. I mean, your Beastmaster normally would be the key to coming back because he can set up the ganks with some decent rune control with that roar, but he doesn't even have boots yet. He's got a haste rune in the bottle. They might be able to take out the Earthshaker. I don't think they should even bother with the Morphling. They're gonna go on the Morphling, and he's morphing, he's morphing, he's morphing. He's still got 600 health. That was not the correct choice. They might kill him anyway with this haste rune. We need one more nuke probably from the Crystal Maiden. There's no board to slow him. Man, he's moving really fast, actually. As the push continues in the top lane. Furion taking a page out of Syllabear's poke. Meanwhile, Morphling picks up the Crystal Maiden. Sorry I missed that. Earthshaker looks like he came in to set him up with a nice fissure. And Crystal Maiden just overextending. These supports are too squishy. They are... You know, we still have a level 4 Venommancer. We only have a level 5 Crystal Maiden, and worst of all, we have a level 5 Panda. Level 5. He doesn't even have Primal Split yet. Panda is all about the Primal Split. Thunderclap's nice. You know, his Drunken Brawler, as well as his Drunken Haze, are nice, but he's all about that Primal Split. That's why he's picked, just to, you know, have that ability to be really hard to kill, give you a lot of disables and chasing power in team fights. And he's not even hitting level 6 at 12 minutes into the game. So this is not looking good for the Scourge at all. And I think all the Sentinel needs to do is just push the early game advantage. Pick up items like a Drum, you know, pick up items like a Vlad's, maybe a Necronomicon, and just look to push the ever-living crap out of the Scourge team. But we are going to see Furion go for a Midas, which is not bad. I mean, if you can get a fast Midas, it's always going to be decent. But I wouldn't have minded maybe seeing rush something like a Mechanism instead, or maybe even a Vlad's. In any case, Morphling going to be going on the offensive here. Oh, that Furion ultimate. Taking down the Venommancer. The power of this global strat. I guess I should stop saying that and find something else to talk about. But man, this is just a stomp at this point. It looks like they're not focusing a single target here, but the fissure, nice fissure as well as waveform. So much teamfight power coming out from this lineup. And I have to say, I don't know if anyone's actually played 6.74 in Dota 2 or Dota 1, but Morphling is just ridiculously strong right now. I watched the Dota 2 cast with Evil Geniuses last night, and the Morphling was absolutely out of control in that game. He didn't end up winning the game. In fact, it was kind of it's one of the best Dota 2 games I've ever seen. And I would even say it's maybe up there with like the Farm for Fame MYM vs Navi game. Although that is a pretty bold statement. But yeah, Morphling is really strong in the next version, and he's already quite strong in 6.73C. As we are going to see another hero die. That's the second kill, actually. Furion went down. I'm living in my own little world here. Earthshaker dropping the ultimate. I think underestimating the amount of damage he could do. Beastmaster picking up another kill. So unfortunately the kills are not going to the Syllabear. But he is up to 2,400 gold. Man, that hero can farm. Yeah, even though the Syllabear has been getting ganked a lot, he's still farming reasonably well. I mean, this is not anything otherworldly for Syllabear, but considering the game, I would say it's damn good. Syllabear up to 68 creeps, as well as 6 neutrals. O2 and 2. Actually, you know what? His farm's even worse than I thought, but somehow he's got all the money. And you know why it is? It's because this hero doesn't really need to build anything. He just builds phase boots and then he goes straight for a relic. And he's still got 1700 health, 15 armor, and 2 heroes, basically. So, just can't wait to see this guy get imported into Dota 2. I have to say, Lycan being in Dota 2 is both awesome and terrifying. I played Lycan, my first Lycan game yesterday. It actually involved me getting murdered. I played against what looked to be like a 4 or 5 man group on the enemy team. They were pretty coordinated in any case. And they just had a Chen in my jungle from level 1 offensively. I haven't played Lycan in a long time in Dota 1. And man, I'll tell you, Chen can really shut him down, especially if your team can't help you. And my team just was in no position to deal with Chen. So, needless to say, it did not go well for me. But then my other 2 Lycan games, you know, they warded a couple camps, but hey, he's Lycan, so you're gonna get fat anyway. But Syllabear is similarly annoying to deal with. Nice invis rune for Beastmaster. Very good time for him to have that. And we might actually see a turnaround here. He wants to go on the offensive. We're gonna see 3 Scourge heroes coming to try and defend this tower, but it's in a lot of danger right now. It's in a lot. I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to defend this. Beastmaster still wanting to roar. Panda gonna clap me on. Looks like the Sentinel is gonna back off a little bit. And meanwhile, Syllabear doing what he does best, getting his farm on, pushing the top lane. And Morphling actually doing the same. So Morphling going for the Perseverance. It means he's going for Linken's. I mean, Linken's is okay, I guess. You're up against a Crystal Maiden with Frostbite, as well as a Beastmaster with Roar. So you're pretty much guaranteed not to get roared. Unless you're in a really bad position, they can both drop those spells simultaneously. But the problem is, it's just not good against anything else. It's not going to help you with Radiance damage. It's not going to help you with Entangle. It's not going to help you just with the auto tanks of the Syllabear. So I don't know how I feel about that. It does let him sit in the lane and push a little more. And generally, you sort of comboed with the Furion, it can be decent. Beastmaster going to go for the TP out. Nice enchant, blind enchant totem, I think. Really well played here by R5, R5. And we're going to see the chase continue. Chaos Knight wanting to fight the Syllabear. God, that hero is so fast. But a nice entangle from the Spear Bear. Yeah, it looks like Syllabear is going to be able to get away. So well played by him. And similar... Oh, maybe not. Furion comes in with the medallion. And a great pickup from Furion. I like this pickup. They have the mechanism up on the Ancient Apparition already. They have the medallion on the Furion. Lots of early game items. Morphling being so aggressive right now, and you just can't kill this guy. He can always morph to strength if he needs to, and have about another 1000 HP to work with. Your only chance of killing him would be a thrower. So at this point, if we just sort of take a look at the way this game is going, the only hope for the Scourge is for Syllabear to get that relic, and right now he's about 400 gold away. But I don't even know if it's going to be enough. Because what the Sentinel should be able to do is just turtle. And if the Scourge try to push out, Syllabear is going to be a pain, but all of their other heroes are so squishy that they're going to be pretty easy to kill. There's a Panda. I mean, this Panda has 800 life, and he's level 6 at 17 minutes into the game. Venomancer with 700 health. Crystal Maiden with 625 health. And Syllabear decently tank when he's in bear form, but that's it. So, I mean, I think if you kill all of Syllabear's teammates, you can usually burn him down. Or at the very least, you can run away, so... I don't even know if the Radiance is going to be too much of a concern. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. But we'll see. We'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, you can never count a team with a Syllabear out of a game, and this is certainly one of them. And this is certainly a game with a Syllabear in it, I should say. Anyway, going to be farming up these H's here. Looks like Morphling going to be scouting with his Replicate. Very annoying feature. One of the best things about Replicate is that even though they do reduce damage, they take standard damage, so they can be really tank. If the enemy ever has something like a Centaur, and let's say he goes for a Radiance, you know, tries to sort of be a carry for his team, just make an image of him, and he will never, or replicate of him, and he will literally never die. 4 Sentinel heroes grouped up on the top lane, going to be going for the tier 2 tower, and I think they're happy with this trade, if it even turns into a trade. Meanwhile, Scourge going for this bottom tower. Syllabear should get his relic after the tower. In fact, he just purchased the relic from the looks of it. I believe he just purchased it. Did he?
A player's forces are under attack.
Where's the second courier? Yeah, okay, relic already on the bear. Yeah, I'm still not too great at spectating Dota 2. But meanwhile, Sentinel feeling very ballsy. Gonna go for the high ground here at 18 minutes into the game. And this is actually a great time to do it because Syllabear still does not have the Radiance. And as soon as he gets it, it's going to be infinitely more difficult to go for high ground. They may actually go for the tier 2 tower. And hey, why not? You know, take the safer towers first. Panda picks up a haster and going to be going in mid. Even with his primal split, he could still instantly die to chain stun, so it needs to be very careful. If the Sentinel knew how close Syllabear was to the Radiance, they might even try and Rax the Scourge now. Just because while he may not be able to kill your team, he can really make pushing a nuisance. The Sentinel do have a mech, which will help counter the Radiance. But their supports are still pretty squishy. Ancient Apparition 800 health, Furion not 1000 yet. Earthshaker at 1100, so decently tank. Chaos Knight only at 1100, that's actually not as tank as I normally see. But Syllabear gonna die here. This is an awful time to be dying on Syllabear. Combination of no... Yeah, he just should not have been there. They have no ward coverage. There are a bunch of enemy heroes missing, and you're up against a Furion as well as an Ancient Apparition. So there's always the threat of a global gang. So really just bad positioning by him. Panda probably not even able to get off the Primal Split. Yep, not going to get off the Primal Split. This could mean Rax. Creeps are coming in. Furion should be able to create some treants momentarily. 2 down for the Scourge. I'm not sure they can hold this push. Sentinel may look to go for Roshan instead, which wouldn't be a bad decision, but I really feel like they could go high ground right now and at least do some damage to the tier 3 tower. Instead, they're going to, looks like, just farm. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's the right decision, but I also think they can do what they want at this point, and they'll still be okay. As Syllabear is still 600 gold away from that Radiance from looks of it. Wait, is this buyback cost? Yep, actually, no, excuse me, he's 1300 gold away from that Radiance. And that 1300 gold might be really hard to come by, to be honest. So we'll see. We'll definitely see how it plays out. But I'm not feeling too good about Velocy's chances. This is probably the best way to deal with a hero like Syllabear and Lycan. Just get so far ahead in the early game in terms of both towers and more importantly hero kills that it just doesn't matter if that Syllabear has the Radiance because your team, all of your heroes are fine. I'm just gonna check the Sentinel item progressions as they don't really seem to have progressed as much as I would have thought they would. Furion's sitting on 1400, so he's got a decent amount in terms of the farm. Morphling with the Lincolns, so doing pretty well. But aside from that, Necron actually... No, yeah, really not that much farm, so they don't have many creeps.
The player's forces are under attack.
Morphling gonna go high ground here, he definitely can do it. With the Lincolns, it's gonna be really hard to kill. Their only chance will be a Frostbite into Aurora, but that's just really hard to get off. Because of how close you have to be with the Crystal Maiden to use a Frostbite. And let me just pause so I can finish checking the creep stats. What do we have? 89 on the Syllabear with 14 neutrals. Pretty awful farm for him. 93 on the Beastmaster. Oh, that's not 14 neutrals. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong... Yeah, okay, 14 neutrals. 11 on the Beastmaster with 93 neutral, or creeps, and 52 on the Panda. So it's actually better than almost everyone on MiTH-Trust except for the Morphling. But I'm sure the gold graph, if there was one, would show something like a 10,000 difference, maybe. As the Scourge only have 3 towers, Sentinel have 6, and they've just been, we're talking about an 18 kill difference here. That's like 4,000 gold at least right there, if not more. Not only that, it's also a swing, too, if you think about it, because the Scourge are losing that gold as well. At least in some cases, if they don't have the reliable gold.
The player's forces are under attack.
I'm just taking a quick sip of my coffee here, as I am still trying to wake up. So this is my first cast for the day. I think I might do a couple more. I really like sort of doing a few in a row, as I get into the rhythm of things, and I feel like my casting improves up to a certain point, and then you see it drop. So, I'll probably at least do one more. But this game was pretty exciting to watch. I mean, it's only 22 minutes in, but we've already seen 24 kills, which is pretty good. That's a little low for a Southeast Asian game, but that's just because the game's so exciting. Morphling going on the offensive here. Lincoln's actually has popped as Crystal Man attempts to use that Frostbite.
Town is under siege.
I was going to say I'm interested to see what item he goes for next, but it looks like it's going to be a Manta style, which is a great choice, but I really think Shotgun Morphling is the way to go this game. I mean, nobody on the Scourge is tank. And for anyone who doesn't know, Shotgun Morphling is basically, it means that you buy an Ethereal Blade, and then you go for you put a lot of you morph a lot of your stats into agility, and then you use the Ethereal Blade into an adaptive strike into a waveform. When heroes are banished, which is what using the Ethereal Blade does to them, they take bonus nuke damage. Entangle on the Morphling, you definitely cannot use the Lincolns to block that, but he's just going to replicate out and be totally fine. Yeah, but that is something to keep an eye on. That's probably their best chance of logging down is with a lucky Entangle proc. And that's something you just can't count on as a Morphling, or really as any hero, so. Syllabear finally has the Radiance. It's going to make defending the base a little bit easier. Really what the Sentinel will want to try and do here is get a pick, or go for Roshan and then look to push. I think going high ground versus Syllabear is going to be pretty difficult. Especially when you also have a Panda and a Beastmaster, as well as the Venomancer Ward just sitting there being a nuisance. At the same time, Scourge cannot leave their base, so if the Sentinel wants to, they could just farm for most of this game, and I don't really know what the Scourge can do about it. These supports are just not going to have the items they need to survive against the nuke damage coming out from the Sentinel. Let's see here. In terms of the levels, because whenever I'm talking about the nuke damage, I mean, it's not only a question of the Scourge heroes having low health, it's also a question of the Sentinel heroes having good levels. Urshaker has his level 2 ultimate, that's a really big deal. Ancient Apparition has his level 2 ultimate, that's a huge deal. And of course Furion has his level 3 ultimate. Actually went for a Scepter. Interesting choice. I think it makes sense because they just want more push, and his ultimate also is a great teamfight ability. Smoke Gang coming in here. Panda gonna miss the clap. Nice blink out from the Earthshaker. Even better Fissure, getting every single hero. We should see Ancient Apparition dropping. Syllabear comes in. They're gonna get one kill here. Are they gonna continue the chase? Not sure they'll be able to catch the Earthshaker. He would be quite a catch though, as he does have a gem now. Meanwhile, Roshan did end up going down to Furion and the Morphling. Aegis on the Morphling now. Let's see what's going to happen next. How will the Sentinel choose to play this? Are they going to slow roll it to use the famous words of Luminous and try and farm for another 30 minutes? Or are they going to try and push their advantage and go for X? I mean, I don't really think you... Oh, sorry. Missing more action. Looks like we are going to see one kill. Earthshaker going to be trying to TP out. Not going to happen. Entangle going out. Primal Split was used. Kind of a blunder, but meanwhile Morphling pressuring the racks. Uses the waveform offensively to clear the creep wave. Syllabear going to have to TP back. I mean, I kind of feel like the Aghanim is more of a team fight pickup here, as opposed to just a straight pushing item. But when you have the Morphling with his ability to push and always be hard to kill, I guess it's kind of a pushing item too. Morphling constantly just going to keep pressure on this bottom lane and prevent the Scourge from leaving their base, which is really what the Scourge want to do. I mean, I think they're feeling pretty bold right now. Let's see how much gold is on the Syllabear. Up to another 1,800. Wonder if he's going to go for something like a Vlad's. I mean, I think he just wants to buy a bunch of cheap items. Normally in a Syllabear game, you'll see him get the Radiance. What did he sell? Sold his bottle and something else. Let's see, what is Morphling going to buy here? 1,700 gold. Or, no, actually, sorry, I missed that. I don't know what he sold, but anyway, I'm just going to be picking up a bottle and a TP scroll, so... A little bit strange, but no big deal. I totally lost my train of thought. Looks like Crystal Maiden picked up that gem. Wait, did Earthshaker die? Yeah, Earthshaker did go down. I guess that's the kill I missed earlier. And the gem going to be very nice for dewarding. It isn't a bad pickup to go for something like a gem, especially when you have this kind of... meanwhile, we'll talk about that later. BKB on the Chaos Knight, going to be going to work on this Beastmaster. Normally not a common pickup on Chaos Knight, but I think it's a great choice here. Morphling getting a bunch of kills with a DD rune, just absolutely butchering. I believe those were the supports. Yep, the Crystal Maiden and the Venomancer. This is going to mean Rex, unless the Scourge can buy back. If it doesn't mean Rex, it's certainly going to mean base towers. And the Sentinel, I believe they still have all their ultimates online. Yeah, where do you see... I think it's right under their names if they don't have the ultimates. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, sorry, I'm really new to casting Dota 1, so if I'm not looking in the right spot, let me know in the comments. But anyway, I think they have all their ultimates, which means they can go high ground very easily. Syllabear being such a pain in the butt. Look how much damage it's doing just standing there. It's just demolishing this creep wave. It is fairly squishy, though. Morphling pressuring the bottom, so we're doing a little split push here. And if he sends a replica top, he can always be there to help his team. Already going to work on the racks. The Scourge just don't have enough to defend this. They only have one hero who can do anything right now, and that's Syllabear. But he can't defend two lanes at once. He's only got one Spirit Bear, and the regular bear is just a walking melee creep. A big tanky walking melee creep, but just a walking melee creep nonetheless.
A player's forces are under
Syllabear heads top, Morphling continues pushing bottom, and the annoyance continues. He's morphed everything to agility. I love this choice, pushing so hard. And I believe he did it before he made his Manta images. Yes, he did, which means that they hit exceedingly hard. Yep, we're going to see one set of racks go down here. Really nothing that the Scourge can do to stop this. They're going to try and force a fight top. I mean, I guess they don't have another choice. The Sentinel are just going to back off, and Morphling going to say, okay, I'll take another 300 gold as well as your racks. Probably sitting on a pile of it now. Yeah, 2,500 gold on the Morphling. Chaos Knight might go down. It really doesn't matter, even if he does. Yeah, he is going to go down. Krista with a huge ultimate. Might pick off the Earthshaker. Yeah, gonna pick off the Earthshaker. Bunch of kills, but the base is just being slaughtered right now. Morphling's gonna come in and start backdooring the top lane. Or is he gonna go for some kills? No, he's gonna go for some kills. Furion most likely gonna be going down here. He is gonna drop Panda back in his normal form. Gonna die instantly. Gonna die instantly. Gonna die instantly. What the hell? That was like a 4,000 range adaptive strike. I did not know that spell had such long range. That seems very buggy to me. In fact, I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but if that didn't seem long to anyone else, then I don't know what to say. But in any case, it's not like it matters. This game is pretty much in the bag. I almost want to speed the replay up, but I'm sure we'll see it end momentarily. Sentinel can go for another tower here. Scourge have used their big ultimates, and they're all down anyway, and they don't really have any big ultimates. They just have a Poison Nova, which is nice, as well as the Panda split, but certainly not enough. Desolator being picked up by Furion, of course another great choice for these pushing lineups because it does minus armor to those buildings, making them much easier to kill. 2 sets of racks down. Syllabear is a great carry, but he's not going to come back from this one, so the rare game where the bear is defeated. The bear is apparently mortal, even though you can resummon him like a billion times. Gonna take a sip of coffee here. You can admire all the heroes dying left and right. Morphling gonna die once, probably not gonna die twice. I still would have loved to see him go for Shotgun Morphling. It's just so much more fun to watch, but you know, I can't argue with the Manta for the pushing power. And it does give you a lot of damage, to be perfectly honest, so. This Furion trying to escape, he's so low. Necronomicon being a huge pain. That was a monster kill. Morphling doing a little fountain diving. Nice blink away from the Panda, but it's not going to matter. Third set of racks should die here mid shortly whenever the Sentinel get tired of fountain camping. Morphling going for a Skady. Come on, man, build an Ethereal Blade, man up, or a Rapier, you know, something exciting. You're up 2 sets of racks. I suppose you don't really want to be giving that Spirit for a Rapier, even when you're down 2 sets of racks. GG's come out. I'm going to pause the replay here so we can actually see our final scoreboard because I always forget to do that. So that's going to do it, guys. This was MiTH-Trust versus Velocy for the March GEST International Dota Cup. I believe this was in either Group Stage 1 or Group Stage 2. I'm not sure which, but I will make a note of it in the replay title as well as the comments so you can, or description so you can see it there. Again, I was LD. I do Dota 1 casts as well as Dota 2 commentaries when I can get my hands on replays, which right now I can't, although I'm trying to. So if you know anybody who can get me into a game, let me know. But right now you just can't get the replays because all the games are private with no spectators. So anyway, if I'm not casting Dota 2, I will often be uploading guides on that. I recently started a new series called Get In That Ass Larry. For anyone who doesn't get the reference, you should really watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. It is a fantastic show. But basically, it's going to be some sort of educational material. It's kind of a weird hybrid right now. But yeah, anyway, definitely check that out if you're looking to learn more about how to play heroes, or just see me make lots of new mistakes and laugh at me. Either way is fine by me. So anyway, I was LD. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments. And GG, guys. Thanks for watching.